Hello all, welcome to the session on examples for looping statements in C language. We will see some example where the looping statement need to be used to solve a problem. Okay, so now we have the problem statement. You work for a company which pay X as your salary. So X can be taken as a current salary, and you know that in every organization, every after completion of 1 year of service, an increment is given for the employees. So we call that as annual revision or annual increment of your salary will be based on your effort, which is measured as Y. Okay, so in 1 year, what is your performance? What is your effort that you have put in your job? That will be measured. Depending on that, the increment will be given. Okay, the annual revision of the salary will be done. So now Y is nothing but the effort, okay, that you have put in. Now this Y value varies in the scale 1 to 10. Okay, so an employee might have put in an efforts of, let's say, 3. So another employee might have put in effort of, say, 5. Okay, so like that, every individual employee's efforts is going to be measured, and it will be in the scale 1 to 10. Okay, so depending on this effort, his annual revision of the salary will be done. So how it will be done? New salary is an exponential growth of your salary over the effort. So it's an exponential growth. So let's see the requirement now. You'll understand what is that exponential growth of the salary. So a software need to be developed to compute your new salary with following requirement. So current salary X need to be captured. Okay, so the current salary has to be given as a input. Then effort Y need to be captured. So what is the effort that employee has put in? That also needs to be captured. So two inputs, one is the current salary, second one is the effort, that is nothing but Y. So this effort will be in the range 1 to 10. So very cautiously while giving the input, see to it that you give the input in the range 1 to 10. Okay, then once you know the effort that an employee has put in, and once you know his current salary, you need to calculate his new salary. So the new salary represented as Z has to be computed. Now how do we compute this Z? As given here, new salary is exponential growth of your salary over effort. Okay, so that is what is mentioned here. New salary is an exponential growth of your salary over effort. So this is very important point. Okay, so now that is what we have. The third requirement, new salary Z to be computed as X Y. Okay, see, this is nothing but X raised to the power of Y. Okay, exponential, that is very important. Let me just underline that, exponential growth. Okay, so X raised to the power of Y is what you need to do. Then finally display the new salary. Okay, so this is what is the problem statement. So if I take a simple example, my present salary is, say, 5 rupees is my present salary, and after 1 year I have got, say, the scaling as 3. Okay, that is, this is what is the X. Okay, then Y, the effort that I have put in that 1 year in my job is 3. So new salary needs to be calculated, that is the Z. So new salary is nothing but exponential growth of your salary over effort. So that is nothing but X raised to the power of Y. Okay, which is nothing but, in this scenario, X is the current salary, which is 5. Y is the effort, which is nothing but 3. So 5 raised to the power of 3, which is nothing but 5 into 5, 25, 25 into 5, 125. So my new salary represented by Z will be 125 rupees. Okay, hope it's clear, right? So now what we'll do, we'll directly Now go to the solution. Let's start writing the code. Okay, so hash include stdio.h and main. Okay, so let's take all of them as integer. It's your choice. You want to take it as float, you can take it as float, because say for example the salary of a person is 10 rupees 50 paisa. So if that is a scenario, take it as float, otherwise int will do. Okay, so int x represents the present salary or a current salary that an employee is getting. Then y represents the effort that employee has put in. Now this y is in the scale of 1 to 10. Then let's declare one more variable z, which is nothing but the new salary. So let's we will initialize this z with 1. Okay, right. Then printf, we have to take two inputs, correct? So which are those two inputs? X and y needs to be captured according to the problem statement. So enter the current salary. Enter the current salary. Okay. Scanf percentage d comma ampersand. Let's store it in variable x. Okay. Then one more variable, one more value we need to capture, that is y value. That is nothing but the effort that the employee has put in. Okay. So printf, enter the effort value. And this should be between the range 0 to 10. Okay. Scanf percentage d comma, let's store it in y. Okay, so we have read two inputs, x and y. X is nothing but the current salary of the employee. Y is nothing but the effort that he has put in the scale 1 is to 10, or in the range 1 is to 10. Okay, so now we need to calculate what is his new salary. So we have taken z as our new salary initially. Z is storing 1. Okay, so now you know that what we need to do, what we need to perform here is x raised to the power of y. That is what we need to perform now. So I'll just take this value, say x raised to the power of y is what needs to be calculated. So x raised to the power of y in this scenario, let's assume the user has given the input of x, the present salary as 5 rupees, and the scale of effort, say let's take it as 3. So what we need to do now is 5 into, okay, 5 into 5. So 5 into 5, 25. That 25 multiplied by next 5, you're going to get it as 125. Okay, so this is what needs to be done, right? So now if you see this, let's initially, let we have taken z. Z is what we need to calculate. Okay, now let's take z is equal to z into x. Okay, so first time what happens, z is equal to z into x. When you perform, z is initially 1 multiplied with x value, which is 5, is again 5 only. Okay, so I'll just write it here. I have taken x as 5 and I have taken y as 3. So this is what the user has given the input. and Z is what you need to calculate. Initially Z we have 1. Okay, so now with this, when I write this statement, Z is equal to Z into X. So what happens? Z is 1. 1 is multiplied by X, which is nothing but 5. So 5 into 1 is 1. Sorry, 5 into 1 is 5. Okay, 5 into 1 into 5 is 5. So this 1 into 5, which results in 5, okay, will be stored in Z. So now the Z value gets updated. So now we have 5 in the variable Z. 5 is stored in the variable Z. Okay. So now what we have to do next is, let's decrement the value of Y. Okay. So Y minus minus. So when you do this Y minus minus, what happens? Y will become 2. Correct? Okay. So now once this Y becomes 2, let's repeat the same. Z is equal to Z into X. Okay. So now if you see this time, the Z value is 5. Okay. Multiply it with X value, which is nothing but 5. So 5 into 5, 25. So this 25 will be stored in X. Okay. So let me update the value of X. We'll make it as 25. Okay. So after this, again, what we will do is we'll decrement the value of Y. Right. So now what will be the value of Y? It will become 1. Right. So once this become 1, let's again repeat the Z value, the Z equal calculation. Z is equal to Z into X. Okay. So this time Z is equal to Z into X, nothing but repeat this Z will be now, Z value is 25. Okay. This will be multiplied now with 5. So 25 into 5 will result in 125. So this 125 will be stored in the Z. So Z value will be now updated with 125. So now I'm just updating the value of Z. It will become 125. Okay. So now again, let's decrement the value of Y. Okay. So what happens? Now the value of Y will become 0. Okay. So now once the value of Y becomes 0, you can just stop it at this point. So what we did here is, see, this two operations of multiplication and uh, decrementing the value of Y, this is repeated again and again. This is repeated. So we can put these two into a looping statement, because these are the two operations which are done frequently or repeatedly. These are the two operations that are done. So what we'll do, we'll put them into a loop. Okay. So we'll use a while loop. I will give the condition. So what condition should we give here? Okay. So while Y is greater than 0. Okay. While Y is greater than 0, we have to do Z is equal to Z into X, Y minus minus. Okay. So let's see now again a scenario where I have taken X value as 5, Y value we had taken it as 3, and Z value initializes with 1. So this is what we call it as multiplicative identity. Okay. So wherever our basic operation is multiplication. So wherever our basic operation is multiplication, initially to start with, we take the value of the z as 1, which is called as multiplicative identity. Okay, so that means, what is multiplicative identity? Any number multiplied by 1 will give the same number. That is, any number. For example, 5 multiplied with 1 will give 5 only. Similarly, you have additive identity. Additive, that means addition. Okay, so wherever there is a basic operation, wherever we have to do a basic operation is addition. Okay, in this example, the basic operation is multiplication, but some examples we may have to do addition. Okay, basic operation will be the addition. In that scenario, we initialize the variable with 0, because 0 is additive identity. That means any number, when you add it with 0, you'll get the same number. That is, 5 plus 0 is 5 only. Okay, so that is what we call it as additive identity and multiplicative identity. 1 is the multiplicative identity, 0 is the additive identity, right? So now coming back to our program, we have y is 3, x is 5, and z is 1. So first time, you just check the condition of the while loop while y is greater than 0. That is nothing but 3. Okay, first time we are doing 3, is it greater than 0? Yes, condition is true. Since the condition is true, you are going to enter into the while loop. So once you are inside the while loop, perform these two operations. After performing these two operations, what will be the value of z? Z is how much? 1. 1 into 5 is 5. So that 5 will be stored into z. So let me just update that value of z. Now z holds 5. Okay, then how about y? Y is decremented by 1. So y minus minus is nothing but y is equal to y minus 1. Okay, so y will now become 2. Clear? So once you are done with this, again you need to go back to the condition. Now check the condition. Is it true or false now? What is the value of y? Y is 2. So is 2 greater than 0? Yes, condition is true. So again enter inside the while loop. Once you are inside the while loop, again perform these two operations. So what is the z value now? Z value is 5. So 5 multiplied by x value is 5. So 5 into 5 is 25. So this 25 will be stored into the z. So now z value will be updated with 25. Okay, then y minus minus. So y value will be now decremented by 1. So it is 1. Okay, so now after doing this operation, again go back to the condition, check the condition whether it is true or false. So what is the condition now? Y greater than 1. What is the value of y? Y value is 1. Is 1 greater than 0? Yes, condition is true. It is satisfied. So again enter inside the while loop, perform these two operations. So what is the two operations? Z is equal to z into x. So what is the value of z now? 25. Okay, then what is the value of x now? 5. So 25 into 5 is 125. So 125 will be stored into z. So now z value will be updated with 125. Okay, after doing that, decrement the y value, y minus minus. So what will be the value of y now? It will become 0. Okay, now again go back to the condition. Now check the condition. Okay, so is 0, condition is nothing but now y is 0. Is 0 greater than 0? No, condition fails. So since the condition fails, you'll directly come out of the while loop. So what is that we are supposed to write outside the while loop now? So we have actually calculated now his annual revision, right? So what is that annual revision? 125. Where is that 125 stored? 125 is stored in the variable z. So we need to just have to display the value of the z. Okay. So once you're outside the while loop, we can just print f new salary is percentage d comma z, then end the program. Okay, so this is how we can easily calculate the annual revision of the salary of a employee, right? Hope it's clear. If you have any doubts, you can put it in the comment section, right? Thank you. Okay, so this is the flowchart of the problem statement that we just now discussed. Okay, so we will start, then we'll declare x, y, and z, and z is initialized to 1. Okay, then we read x and y, where x is nothing but the current salary and y is nothing but the performance. So y will be in the range of 1 to 10, right? Then we had that condition y greater than 0, condition true, do these two operation, that is z is equal to z into x, y minus minus. Okay, these two operations is this is what is the loop. Okay, so this loop keeps repeating until the condition is true. Once the condition fails, you'll come out of the loop and you're going to display the value of z, and then you're going to stop the program. Okay, so this is the flow chart for the discussed program, right? Thank you.